And can we get the upper ones as well? Yes, we can. Yeah. Cool. That looks like that is working quite well. Move back for us. Okay, I'll call that fairly painless. Welcome back, you beautiful people, to episode 4 of the Asari. We are doing actually surprisingly well, all points considered. First episode, we nearly got wiped out by a drop. Thankfully we didn't. If we didn't have singularities, that would have turned very differently. Now, what we have been doing is we've been working on the power supply recently. So we have a mechanoid power cell here, a prefab geothermal power plant. Don't mind if we do, that's pretty powerful. And then we also are starting to work on the defensive turrets. So we're using mini turrets, basically just built into the mountain. And it does give you the slight issue that sometimes you get a little bit of a bug infestation. Less than ideal. But what I've just realised is we have this little overhang here. If we extend this down by 1, put a proper wall into that, and we are going to be able to put a heavy cannon into this section. So a dual heavy auto cannon, which is going to be absolutely beast. Those things shred mechanoids, and if they can hit a small target, they pretty much do it as well. As for how our guards are doing, most of us have shield belts, not all of us, so we are just waiting on Kelsan, and then everyone else is pretty much in decent armor, not great armor, but decent, and has shield belts. When you start working on bionics are going to be super important, so we can actually start moving around. We'll start with the spines, then once we have a bunch of spines, we'll go into arms and legs, and then from there, because once you operate, you remove the body part, and we're using Ra's bionics. If we can take that, then we can put it onto the advanced bionic bench, then we don't have to rebuild a new arm, which works out super well for us, keeps us moving forward, and then we don't have to rebuild stuff as we go. We're also chucking in some storage into the old hospital for the simple reason that if we just keep the medical supplies in here, something goes wrong, we can tend to the people quicker. And the plan for the episode is fairly simple. We need to put a hard wall in across this section, then put some turrets. We're also going to fortify the base itself, so the base will have defences, not massive defences, but a decent amount. And then as the base expands out, it's going to have rings of defences built in. So when things go peak tong, which they will, as we've seen on the ice sheet, things can escalate exceptionally quickly in combat extended, we'll have fallback positions. And with saying about fallback positions, what I am thinking is the hospital is probably going to be our fallback place, because people get injured, so you need to heal them. So we're going to be in hospital anyway, so I'm thinking about proper fortifying the hospital and even putting in its own power source. So if for whatever reason the walls around it get destroyed or it gets cut off, we can make a last stand in the hospital, because in the STG ice sheet series, that is where the last stand is currently taking place. Why haven't I uploaded it? Because I think there is a chance that we might be able to recover it. However, I cannot figure out how we're going to do it, and I don't want to throw away that colony for no reason, because I've grown quite attached to those old Solarians. They're not particularly tough, but they are very good workers and exceptional at research. And with all that said, let's get on with the episode. As was pointed out in the comments, we do have Kelsan. Kelsan has a fantastic ability called Tactical Cloak, which means that she can turn invisible, and when she turns invisible, the enemy cannot see her. So that works super well for us, means we can get in close and cause a bunch of damage. Also has Sabotage, which can mind control robots, and then also has Overload, which can EMP robots. And in combat extended, explosions and explosives are incredibly powerful. So pointed out that maybe we should go give her some explosives. Now, not too interested in frag grenades, but if we can go give Kelsan a rocket launcher, on the other hand, that could be quite useful. So Kelsan basically dead screens in as close as she can, so if there's a mechanoid cluster somewhere, comes in, pops Tactical Cloak, comes around the corner, hopefully inside the shields, and then yeets a rocket straight into the middle of the mechanoids. And then if they've got power cells or whatever, then they'll explode, and then chain react and take everything else out. We just need to get one of them first. And then over here we have been doing a little bit of work, so this is going to be rat run number 1. So we've got embrasures. Embrasures will have military turrets behind them, so they come through this door, they get shot. They then come through this door, they get shot. And then through that door, they get shot. Then when they come through this door, they get shot. And then by the time they come through there, it doesn't really matter. Now that is definitely in the wrong place, so we'll move that way. And then we've also just put an extra bunch of thick walls in there, so they don't come through. Because tribals love to attack doors. Not super fond of walls unless they're actually sappers, but standard tribals will come in if they see a door. That's going to be about the first thing they attack. Now, tribals being particularly weak and squidgy, if we just fill these full of AP rounds, they are just going to get hosed down as they come through. And with the way bullets work in Combat Extended, you can shoot multiple people in a line, which will work out quite nicely for us. And then we're also going to be able to get into this section of the map a lot quicker. Going to need to take a similar blueprint to that, not the exact one, but then put that over there and then into there. So what do we want? We want rockets. How are we doing on research? Advanced bionics, ago, neuroscience, organ transplant, synthetics. And now let's go into simple launchers. From simple launchers, just having a look. Yeah, no, we will go simple launchers. And then we're going to want to go into proper. And then we'll want to go into advanced launchers. And I think that should work out pretty well for us. Then behind that, seeing as our research is coming along somewhat quick, we're going to go into heavy auto turrets as well. And the blue suns came in that time as well, unsurprising. And it just seems to be a normal raid. They got a Loki mech, so that has a bunch more resources. And this guy might actually be an adept. Yep, an adept there, Omni tool here, and another Omni tool. And we are not too far off from being able to knock these guys out and then operate on them and steal their parts. Sweet. But in a straight up battle, we do have the advantage. So we're going to see what they do. And we'll probably give them a little bit of space because I want to see if they come around here, run into our turrets, what happens. So looking at the approach path, they are coming in and they are just hugging the wall around here, which doesn't put these turrets in the best situation. But you see we got the walls there. This just stops them from being able to shoot over each other, which is what we want, because when they shoot over each other, they generally have a tendency to wipe each other out. And that Loki mech is deceptively tough. Okay, interesting to know that I can face tank that many rounds. Are you going to give me any information? No? Okay, cool. We'll just need to find one that's alive and then take it from there. Just having a little think, if we get the turrets on this side, these turrets are going to be able to cover those turrets, and those turrets are going to be able to cover these ones. So what that Loki mech was able to do, and where it's just able to fight a turret one-on-one, that won't happen anymore because these ones will be shooting in and spraying them from behind, which will most likely force them out into the open. Yet again, puts us in a pretty good place. We'll get everyone else now drafted up, start bringing them down, see what they do to these turrets, because I've got a feeling this is going to take a little bit more work. Maybe even need to drop back this way so they can shoot down. And fairly safe to say that the Rimeffect kit is quite powerful, if you don't mind killing those guys, because we want to use them. But against humans get forced into cover. So yeah, they just get forced back. Not very good on the retreat though. Okay. Cool. It kind of worked. Not quite how I wanted it to work, but definitely has potential. And off the back of that, we managed to pick up a decent amount of rounds and didn't actually have to use really any of our own other than those guys shooting a couple rounds down. Because we can make 5.56 all day, we just can't make the Rimeffect ammo at the moment. So, happy with that all in all. Well, this is unfortunate. Mech cluster with a toxic spewer. A mechanoid cluster has landed not far from Temple of Athena. There's a toxic spewer machine that's blanking the whole region in poison. And there's a mech cluster. The mech cluster will remain until you send a team to attack and destroy it. Jump to spewer. Okay, that is definitely a little bit unfortunate. Not something that we really want to be messing with. How do our helmets hold up against it though? Toxic sensitivity minus 25%. So this is not something that we can really afford to ignore. And as we said about earlier, getting a rocket launcher, I think that this is going to be about the best time that we can do it, and then we just go straight there. Hope we don't get raided in that time, or if we do get raided, they go after the turrets. We should buy some time. Benzir is going to come down, get the comms console. Hopefully we get a rocket launcher. If we're lucky, we shall see. And it is not looking super promising. They do have one Doomsday rocket launcher for 2,363. Hopefully we don't need it. Actually, let's just buy a normal Doomsday rocket launcher for 942. That saves us a little bit of money. Now, something I did see that might be quite nice and useful is a Heavy Alliance helmet masterwork. I'm sure one of our guys can put it to good use. And we also have a gun link. Now, normally gun links are pretty useless because you can't wear a helmet. However, I have a mod that means they can put the gun link over their helmet. So all of a sudden, gun links become usable again. And +3 to weapon handling is not something that we'll be too mad about. Anything we can really sell off to them, it is not looking like it. So I am thinking that Doomsday was a very, very good shout. Most of this isn't too scary by itself, but when it's supported by an auto charge turret that can shoot through our armor and shields very, very quickly, yep, being a little bit overprepared is not a bad thing. So we just got to find Doomsday, which is on Kelsan, so drop that. And now I'm just going to need you to pick it up. Or we do it that way. Cool, cool, cool. Right, keep your rifle equipped for the moment. Draft. Fire at will off. And we are going to need to sneak you around this way so you can thread the needle and try to get it into there, which will cause a massive explosion. Then in the meantime, everyone else will be on hold fire and you're going to go behind there. And Kelsan, carry on this way. Kelsan is nearly in position, so we're going to swap across to the Doomsday and see if we can't. Okay, apparently wrong angle. This is going to be expensive. Still nothing. Any reason you don't want to fire? Okay, cool. We can thread it through there, but we don't want it there. We want it here. Okay, it looks like it's going here. Actually, before that, tactical cloak. And then make the shot. Cool. Their big turrets are down. All the other turrets are down. Now we just have a whole bunch of mechanoids to fight. Gun line along here. Spray anything that comes around the corner down. And would help if I done the old fire at will thing. And let's get a bionic throw on. Cool. Brought us a little bit of time. Kelsan to there. These guys going to come to us? No. It looks like they're quite happy down here for some reason. Oh, beast of a shot GNU, mate. That was beautiful. Let's figure this out. It's too fair. If they keep coming that way and GNU just keeps getting the shots off, it doesn't really matter. Man, that is 2 for 2. You got one left in the chamber. Yep. Can you do a prime in one shot? Nearly. Okay, mortar's coming in. Time to shift, even though I think we literally just ran underneath it. No. What have they got that's scary for us? Running in against a prime is not a good idea. That thing has shells. That is a turret. Let's move back this way. Everyone reload. Ooh, and he has high explosive rounds in that. Start pulling this way. then we're going to have a better line of fire. They do have a turret there, so Canoe, you are up. Try to take this one for us. You guys move down. Have we got anything? No. Right. I think what we do is we pull this way, get in behind. Where is Kelsan? There we are. You got your overload and you've also got your sabotage. Sabotage that one. Now on our side, Kelsan, keep coming down. Hit that with your overload. Cool. That is most of that section done. We got one pikeman and then also one prime left. Always go around the corner, we just shoot that in the face, that'll be down, and then we just move on to this one. Easy. We should just be able to gun that down super quick. And it's on fire and stunned. Cool. Not too bad. For this turret, what are you shooting? 6x24. I think we just face tank it. Is going to be our best bet. Face tanking is never a good idea in combat extended, but right now it works. And tidy up. So literally we have just made it back to the base and we have a siege coming in from, what were they called? The Empire of the Sun. That is 5, 6 in cataphract armor, and then a whole bunch in what looks like recon armor as well. Cool, 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 no doubt. So we know Kelsan can turn invincible, and we know it kind of works. And she also has 26 high explosive mortar rounds. So what I'm thinking is we kind of let them set for a little bit so they'll have their mortar rounds. We then start dropping mortar rounds around them, get out of there, then try to trigger the mortar rounds and see if when they all explode, everything dies. Because we got some decent defenses, but I doubt they are going to be able to deal with this. Guys in the flak armor, that guy who's got a crown, easy takedown. Other than you probably got, yeah, learning assistant, tough skin gland, detoxify stomach, and a cortical stack as well. That's not too bad. Yeah, they've all got armors and stuff. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I think we got this. Bringing Kelsan down now, and they got a decent spread on their mortars. So they've got, well, they're rocking 81mm, which are the larger of the mortar rounds. We already got, I think, 61mm ones. So we come down, we drop ours in a couple different places, then we try to hit something into them so they all trigger at the same time. And with that being said, we're going to need to pull these guys across as well and bring them down. Maybe we can also start thinning the herd by drawing them out to us. But if I'm just throwing it out there, this is quite a large raid. They've also got rockets, lots of shield belts, and also Alliance arms and armor. Well, more arms than armor. So they've got one of the Alliance sniper rifles, an Alliance assault rifle, a halberd, and the first mortar is ready. Cool. Not ideal. Hopefully it's not high explosive, or if it is, it misses the base. Yeah, it looks like we'll be fine. Kelsan, tactical cloak. In we go. And this seems like a busy little spot for them. I think we're only going to be able to get one off, actually. Come on, back. Okay, our shield's held quite nicely. Now all we need is you choose your bionic flare. Once you poke your head around the corner, so long as you don't get it blown off, straight to here. And can we get the upper ones as well? Yes, we can. Yeah. Cool. That looks like that is working quite well. Move back for us. Okay, I'll call that fairly painless. That worked out pretty good. Now let's chase them down. Let's see if we can get anything. The Stella literally just disappeared. Okay, thankfully all the guys in Cataphract armor are running away. Would have been nice to try and loot them, but all points considered, I'm just happy we're not dead. So yeah, thank you very much for the suggestion of using stealth and a little bit of explosives. That worked out absolutely beautifully. Expensive, that was very expensive to do, but cheaper than replacing colonists. So I'll take that. And we also got a single plasteel mortar, which isn't too bad. I'm not even mad about that. Not even mad in the slightest. With some very good timing, we've had a Krogan Castaway combat supplier come in. Now, they have a Doomsday rocket launcher. We've seen how awesome they are, so we're picking another one of them up. And they also have an N7 Valkyrie, which is the N7 version of the assault rifle. This thing is a bit of a beast. Range of 56, okay, but not amazing. Shoots in 2 or 4 shot bursts, which is fairly decent, but a range cooldown of 0.35 seconds. 16 in the clip with a 5-second reload, that is not bad. And also in thermal clip, just a standard slug has 17mm of armor penetration, and then the AP has 34. Yet again, not too bad. Now, if we bring this way, the incendiary, 18 bullet damage, 4 Promethean burn, and then 1 flame 30% chance, with the same armor penetration value as the accelerator slug. So we can get some incendiary rounds on the go. That would be pretty sweet. So we're going to go pick that one up. This is odd. We're starting to lose power in the... Okay, yeah, Emi Dynamo. And that is a crazy amount of turrets. That's actually what I'll describe as a pretty scary amount. But thankfully, we do have that Doomsday rocket launcher. And also turns out our guys are recreation deprived. So yeah, they're not too happy about that and slept in the heat. Heat is an easy fix. But let's get Kelsan. And you are going to do what you do best, which is equip the Doomsday. And then we are going to send you over here. Fire at will turned off. And I think if we come down to here and we literally slot it through there, that should take pretty much everything out. We do have 1 turret left here, but I think we can literally just yeet round the corner and then stab it to death. This little turret in the background might be a little bit annoying, but if we stand here, we should be safe. We'll just have to deal with an explosion. But I think that sounds better than us being shot in the face. Kelsan is about in position. I think this is about the best we're going to get. And I guess, yep, tactical cloak. And let's shoot that just about there. And hopefully the chain reaction wipes everything out. Okay, we got 1 auto charge turret left. That's got a bit of health. Oh, actually, let's just keep you moving so you don't get caught out in the open. Probably should have sabotaged the carpenter, then that would have started working everything down. But 1 auto charge turret is not the scariest thing that we could be fighting right now. I'll call that a semi-success. We're going to need to go back in and finish it off, but then we will be good. Now I've just realised that this turret just about has a line of sight across us. So we are going to have to try and yeet it this way as quickly as we can. Everyone is bunched up, so this might be an issue if it gets the shots off. But yeah, no, it's taking too long to actually track us, which is fine. Close ranged weapons will go onto Nixan. If we can get her to here and then just come around the corner. Yep, too close for that to actually do anything. And she does a little bit of damage, not much. She does have an awful shield belt, so if this goes and explodes, she should be okay. Okay, cool. I don't think that's going to really do too much. You shoot there. And then maybe what we do is we actually come through the back of the wall here, which will then put us into our safe space. Just a thought. I think that could be a thing. It turns out combatants can actually do some close combat damage, which is a little bit scary. Right, I'm just throwing it out there. That looks like that is going to take a very, very long time. So let's move these guys down, and what we'll do is we'll just shoot through the wall, take the carpenter out, take the Emi Dynamo out, because I've also realised we have a whole bunch of food back in the base that will spoil because we're in the middle of a desert. Cool, everything onto this. That should go down pretty quick. And Nixana. Okay, she was fine. We move to here. I've got a feeling that this is a bad idea. Everything onto that. Does this work? It did work. Sweet. Nixan, you're up again. Get too close and they can't shoot you. Okay. Not too bad. Now we just need to go build another Doomsday. Or find one. Or research it. Either way, we need more explosives. Explosives work very, very well. And it's about time. Temporary algorithm Mech Hive Quebec sent a new ship to land on the planet. Destroyer is a medium-sized ship, usually 7 as a mechanoid hive defender. It has no short-range defenses. When destroyed, mechanoid presence on the surface will be lowered. If it is left operational, contribute to the size of the mechanoid attack parties. Increases mechanoid presence. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when the destroyer lands, it adds 2 more centipedes to the mechanoid attack parties. Now, this is the vanilla expanded faction, not vanilla mechs. Slight difference in them, but something to keep in mind. So we might have to go out and attack that at some point. Not that we're really in a situation to do it, because we would just get bent over and spanked. And because we're having problems with the recreation, what we're doing is we're going to chuck a poker table in the back there. Then we're going to need to find something to do with this like table, so we can move it somewhere else so we can fit a billiards table in. Or alternatively, we just drop these walls back, like we said earlier, and then get these sections redone, which I think is actually probably our best bet. Everything should just about fit because it fit into that section. Yeah, it looks like we just about managed to make everything fit, so we are not too mad about that. We do now need to do some work, move some things around, get some things sorted, but we will have a whole bunch more space. So let's just take the poker table, chuck it into there. We know it fits, so that is fine. And then we're going to need to put a billiards table in and then figure out what to do with the old big table. Okay, that says it's going somewhere, but then it says it's not going somewhere, so to yonder. Alright, so this is what we've ended up with. We got one poker table, one billiards table, and then the main table here with a little chessboard on the side. Not perfect. Not a massive fan of how it looks, but for right now it's kind of the best we are going to get, unfortunately. So we're going to need to expand the rec room to fit some more stuff in it. However, the best bit about all of it is now people aren't recreation deprived. Recreation satisfied, in fact, so that is good. Slept in the heat. Okay, let's go on to that next. Let's try to keep everyone happy whilst we can. So we're just going to go for, yeah, let's just put one air cooler in everyone's room. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over all vents. So when someone opens the door, the heat will get spread between all of the rooms instead of just one room. And also we're going to need to try to keep this room cold, because that is like 55 and these are 45. And in there is 149. 140, between 140 and 150, and it is unroofed. So that is producing a crazy amount of heat, which is going into this room here, and I think that we can solve that pretty quickly. We have the Sanctuary Defilers coming in, and they do have a Hellmaker with them, which has this dual 50 cal BMG, and it is shooting armor-piercing incendiary rounds. And if any of you seen the STG ice sheet, you know how awesome those rounds are. One round of that will pretty much punch through the armor that our guys are wearing and has a fairly decent chance of killing them outright. Now, what we have started down here is the second, I guess, the buffer for the defense. These are set in a way that they can all cover each other, because as we saw, they were coming around the wall and then hug in here. Once they hug in there, only one turret can shoot them at a time. This way, they're going to be supported by a bunch of other turrets that are then going to be able to shoot in and cause a bunch of damage. We left a little bit more space this time so we can have a dual autocannon in there, and we're going to be chucking a dual autocannon into this section. So when bigger, badder things come along, we have something that can shoot them down. And now we need to start figuring out what to do with this area and that area and this section here. And the Sanctuary Defilers are starting to make their assault. They did have a little run-in with GNU. Did you take anyone down? Yeah, GNU managed to take 2 people down. Classic GNU. Oh yeah, so he basically decided to run up there. Didn't quite catch it in time. All I heard was a bunch of gunfire. Look over. And yeah, the whole army is just charging him down. But he managed to make it in, just about. He did get suppressed for a little bit, but thankfully he's back on his feet. These guys are all done. And yeah, they're starting to push through. But the further out into the middle section they go, the more trouble they are going to be in. So whether or not we leave a couple sandbags in the middle or a few stones just to draw people out into the open would be pretty nice, because they're on both sides. So it doesn't matter if they go into cover, because the ones from the other side will just shoot them in the back. And that went surprisingly well. Not that I'm mad about it, I'm really not. I kind of expected a little bit more of a scrap. And thankfully the Hellmaker wasn't able to come in and do the damage it normally does. So that is pretty sweet for us. Now, what have we managed to achieve this episode? We got the hard wall in there. We got this section set just to put the mini turrets in. This section is coming along. It just needs the military turrets and a whole bunch more work. And I am actually thinking that we hard wall along here as well. So everything gets forced through into this choke point, as it seems like we are starting to get it into a decent situation already. So let's do that. And then I think we extend up here, have dual autocannons, so anything that comes through that side is going to be peppered. Dual autocannons across here, so anything that comes through there gets peppered. And then it's just going to make things absolutely, I wouldn't say crazy, but panicky. So they're going to start panicking, start taking cover. The more cover they take and the more they get panicked, the more like free time you have shots on them. And then if mechanoids come in, the centipedes are going to start launching into the military turrets first. Those military turrets are designed in a way that the explosions can't take out the ones next to them. So they'll buy a whole bunch of time for the big cannons, and then we're going to build even bigger cannons behind the big cannons. Because everyone knows, big guns never tire, or whatever the quote is. Anyway, with that, I need to bring the episode to the end, so thank you very much for watching episode 4 of the Asari. I've been Conzi. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome. You know what you need to do for the algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.